On the Recyard, Women's Prison Podcast, where we are live on the Recyard every Wednesday night. Hey, everybody. We are on the Recyard, Women's Prison Podcast. I'm Marci Marie
and Toonche.
Toonche, you don't sound very excited. It's our gratitude special the day before I don't even know how I feel about Thanksgiving, except just the way the holiday came about rubs me wrong, but I do love getting together with family and friends
and being together and being happy and grateful and just chilling, right? No, I am super excited. I'm trying to contain all the caffeine that I've had over the past 2 hours so that I'm not a nightmare.
Well, I'm sure that I thank you and our community here thanks you. Everybody on the Recyard appreciates you trying to rein it in for sure. We have a really special episode tonight. It is our call-in Thanksgiving Night of Gratitude special. I'm really excited, and I'm already seeing some folks that have called in. I've also have a few video clips just from last year that we might get to play. I don't know.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
I love when we have people on the Recyard with us. It's not often, and so we can't get into too big of a group. They'll tell us that we're planning a riot, but it's nice when there's just more
we have to talk to each other from a little bit of a distance sometimes, for sure. Thank y'all for liking the live. Thank you for sharing. Thank you so much for commenting. This is literally our favorite night of the week, and we appreciate all of your support. And I think we should just jump right in.
Do it.
Peach was the first one that on the Recyard. Her dorm.
Pop that ass on in here, girl.
Her dorm let her out first. And so we are bringing her on first, and I see April Towery on deck, and I'm excited to hear from her also. Peach, welcome to Rec.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. You see, I'm the first one. Look, y'all know we used to have to be like the first 15 out for church.
Hey, those were the worst. They would have y'all they would have like special events or showings, like sometimes even like screenings type, almost like it was a special church events, and they would be like 10 people from each dorm. And then they'd say 10 people line up. First of all, they'd put posters up all over the unit, so you'd be like, oh man, this music's playing. Man, this looks great. And then your friends on the other side of the unit would be like, hey, you going to that? I'll see you there. And you'd be like, yeah, I'm there. And then you'd get ready, and what does that mean? We're going to put some makeup on. We're going to press up our suit. And then they call the dorm and they say 10 people.
Just 10. Now, Peaches, I want to ask you, I feel like in those moments when things like that happen, that Marci was a bully. And I feel like she pushed old people down, and because she was getting somewhere to see Brittany. So I feel
like hey, one of the first ones out the door. Yes.
What did it say? People moved for Peaches. She didn't even have to throw no elbows. People said, oh, she want to go? Oh, okay. Well, she in the top 3. She going because she had the respect like that. That's how that went down. But I'll tell you this, when I was trying to get out to see B, which I see Brittany in standby here, she's going to hop on also, but people kind of respected that a little bit. Like if you were in a legit relationship that wasn't like always crazy all the time, people were like, oh yeah, she needs to go. She's trying to see somebody. And there was a little bit of wiggle room sometimes, not all the time.
Well, I didn't get that because my poor little girlfriend, shout out to Lindsay, wherever you are. I was thinking about you the other day and how how much you stressed me out. But I think I told y'all last Christmas that I got in trouble because I didn't turn out for some special thing, and then I didn't get her a Christmas present. Peaches, I didn't. I didn't. I told her everything that you need is in that commissary. So why am I going to buy it and pack it out in my pants, feeling like I'm wearing this cinnamon roll as a pad, so that you can get a cinnamon roll for Christmas that you can buy.
You have to put in some effort now. You got to put in some effort.
And you're talking to the wrong person, because Peaches Chanel Lovely Jones, she would pack stuff across the unit, and you could be the Cubs on here. But I mean, I saw Chanel pack a pint of ice cream in her bra for Brittany one time. So you're really talking to the wrong people.
Well, I'm a nightmare. I know, and I'm so happy to see the Cub is here with us.
Mm-hmm. Talking about her daddy.
Oh my God.
I want to ask you, Peach, what was your favorite part of Thanksgiving, like this time of year in prison?
Really just spreading with my people.
It was the after party.
Yeah,
That's
what's I think it just more of was. It's a day that I know I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna make myself up. Just a day to feel good about myself and take care of myself, and just hang out. And I know that staff, most of the time, staff will be a little bit more lenient with us, so we'll spread and just enjoy time.
One thing I loved about the staff at this time of year is they didn't want to be there any more than we did. Like on the holidays, they didn't want to be working, and
So they get it and pick it.
Yes, yeah. So they hung out with each other, and that gave us a little more freedom to do things like play games and spread that after Thanksgiving chow ha meal, that evening spread. That's really when it went down.
Well, I so I would just hand my bag over to Alexa or Belinda or whoever, just do whatever y'all gonna do with it. And Belinda, I cannot wait. Tomorrow we're getting the famous deviled eggs. She would take our boiled eggs and she would make deviled eggs. That was my favorite treat during the holidays, is Belinda's deviled eggs.
And I bet you didn't even get up to go to breakfast to bring any eggs back.
You're a dirty whore.
It's true. I know you didn't smuggle.
No, you're a liar. I did get up for breakfast. You can ask anybody that knows me. I got up for holiday breakfast because guess what? It wasn't as early as it normally was.
Okay.
But she didn't smuggle them eggs. Somebody else did.
Somebody else smuggled them eggs. They got them off my tray.
Yeah, we know. We know.
You paid for it. You probably gave somebody a noodle to bring them eggs from the chow hall.
Yeah.
So you didn't have to worry
What's
about
going to happen? You try to pat me down and you feel another round thing in between my. Come on, man. I knew that I couldn't get away with it. I just couldn't get away with it. So I blessed somebody else by paying them to smuggle my holiday meal stuff out of the chow hall. Because that was a whole strategic thing. Y'all remember going to the chow hall and it's like, okay, if you get pulled over, then I'm going to make a scene. And so the law was watching. Now, we had wardens sometimes would let us take back our whole tray. Did Lane Murray let y'all take back your trays?
We got the dessert tray, but we weren't taking the first tray back, honey.
Yeah.
That tray with the meat, and there was no transferring. Like, why? Why not? But they made such a big deal. If you transferred from the first tray to the dessert tray to take it back, you were losing it all. Like, there was not. No, baby, it was a big deal. And I see y'all on deck. Thank you, April. Thank you, B. We're fixing to hop you on. But I'll tell this real quick because it happened on Lane Murray where Peach was, and she'll know Becky Walton. You remember Becky? And her girlfriend, who I can't remember her name, and she's home now.
Patty.
Patty, yes. How could I forget? So Becky
Y'all
was
just
bringing
put
them.
Becky's business out there
Baby, I'm
like
putting it out there. She was bringing the
She
meat
don't mind.
back. She was bringing the meat from the Thanksgiving meal back because they want to have that after party like we did. And she it was random pat searches because the laws are on it. They that is their time to shine. It is they were like those officers that are street officers, like patrol cars in small towns. Like, man, they could not wait to catch us on holidays and they could not wait on Thanksgiving. It was random strip searches. So Becky has this massive amount of meat because we've all given ours to her. She is carrying, and we are assigned with the job. If she gets pulled over, we got to make something happen. And I will tell you, she got pulled over and Patty was behind her. Patty took a step and twisted her ankle on the sidewalk in a way that caused her to fall, and she would not get up. Like, they're like, "You all right?" She's like, "No, no, I'm not." Medical came, the whole thing, brought her in a wheelchair, and Becky walked on back to the dorm with all of our meat. And about an hour later, Patty showed up at the dorm walking, "I guess I'm all right, y'all." I was really proud of
well
her.
done.
She did great.
That's
Yeah.
that's one of those so when families talk about remember when grandma at Christmas baked cookies, our stories are like, you remember that time Becky and her girlfriend fell out and was carrying meat back from the chow hall. What a story to tell generations.
Holiday memories.
Holiday
Holiday
memories.
memories.
Well, before we get to our other guest, I want to ask Peaches. Peaches, now that you're home, what's something that you feel really grateful for right now?
Well, I have a daughter,
Yes.
and I'm grateful to have had her and to be able to watch her grow.
Mm. And you
We're
know what?
grateful for that too.
You're
I'm not
super grateful for that.
get off their Christmas tree. Knock all the bulbs off the Christmas tree. Lord have mercy.
Golly.
She's a doll. She's
Yes. Thank you, Peaches. Thank you, little Nay Cub, for hopping on and spending some time with us on the rec yard. We will see you tomorrow.
We'll see y'all tomorrow. I love y'all.
Love
Bye.
you
Love
too.
you. Bye.
Bye. Bye, Peach. I'm just so excited she hopped on here. She was ready.
She was ready. She was on
Yeah.
time.
She she logged on before you.
Well,
Ain't
I
that
made it. I
something?
made it early tonight. 2 minutes early. 2 minutes early.
Stephen Parker is our good friend and huge ally in the fight for prison reform. And he is reminding us to please subscribe to On the Rec Yard Women's Prison Podcast. We have a Facebook page, but most importantly, we are going to be transitioning over the next several months all the way to YouTube, y'all. So you'll want to make sure you're following us there. That's will be our primary source for all things on the Rec Yard Women's Prison Podcast. We are going to get April on here, but I see my mama watching. Hi, Mom. And we're just so glad to have you all. And let's get April Towery on.
Hello, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, April.
April, the quality of your video is just
Oh.
really nice. It's really nice. I wasn't sure if this was you live or this was a recorded video. I was like, is this really April here?
You've already seen me today once, so
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, I can never get enough of you. So
Well.
it's totally fun. It's totally fun.
Now, April, you did your time primarily at Lockhart.
I did at Cupcake Camp, as they call it. But
Well, I think I'll tell you what, being away from your family that's the punishment. So I think that conditions were a little bit better, but girl, it was still prison.
Yeah, pause. Hold on a second. Hold on a second, April, because you know what I'm fixing to say.
I do.
Why this lady is being so kind and sweet to you. But when we talk about O'Daniel / Mountain View, she rips me a new ass. She does.
Jennifer, you did your time in the air conditioning, working as the librarian, paying people to bring you whatever. You were like the godfather in there. You did different time than all of us, sister. Please stop.
I'm just saying, Coleman is a nice condition. I don't want to say nice, but they're better conditions than Lane Murray. And they're the conditions that Mountain View was. So I just wanted to draw that parallel. Please continue.
Okay.
Well, I definitely want to hear about the food, and this is why. We were talking about at another point. We were talking about food at some point, April, and you were like, "I really liked when they had salad," and I was like,
Yes.
"Salad."
Chef salad every other Friday night.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
With an egg, with maybe it was called a Cobb salad.
It was
called
Cobb
it
salad.
salad,
Yeah.
but it had the egg. Yeah, I know.
That wasn't going
Well,
down at Murray.
We
Every
did not
now
have a
and then.
salad bar like the feds do.
What?
I'm
Oh,
told,
yeah.
But we got a salad. So for holidays, we got a meat and a sweet tray or a
meat and a
ton.
sweet.
Yeah. And we always took our trays back to the dorm. We didn't have a chow hall. And my understanding is that's done differently now, that they eat in a chow hall or in a gym or something. And because the trash is out of control, you can imagine if everyone's eating all their meals in the dorm all the time. But we took them back, and this is going to shock you guys, but I was the little old lady that people kind of felt sorry for. I didn't know how to cook. I didn't know how. I feel like I will throw in some pork skins and some creamer, and I was the lady with the blow dryer. So
April running that game. She running that game like she don't know how to cook. Honey, I did it too. So
yeah. I'll supply the blow dryer, and you guys fry me up some turkey, and I'll share the meal with.
Now
make something happen.
Let me ask you though, April. Let me ask you, because what Marci doesn't know, and what some people may not know, is that while I handed food over and whatever y'all want, here it is, just do it, whatever. I did wash dishes. Believe that or not, I did wash all the dishes, all the cooking dishes, and all the everybody's bowls. So.
Well, we know you did, because you told a story about washing an officer's dish and dipping it in the toilet.
Yeah.
Story. Well, I recently taught my mom a prison hack. She was crushing up some Oreos for her grandchild to make a milkshake. And she was like, I don't know. She was just tearing them up with her hands, these Oreos. And I was like, give me a bowl, give me a glass, and I will just mash them. Or you can throw them on the floor and stomp on them.
Yeah,
And
that works too.
So,
well, and I'm glad you said that. And I don't know if I sent the TikTok to Marci or Lori, or maybe I just thought I did. It was literally a little short of Oreos, and they were like, make this fun treat for your kids or something. And they were making a cookie cake. They were crushing up. And I said, oh, so y'all just gonna steal my friend's recipes off of her TikTok like this? They owe you royalties for that, because it literally was a prison hack.
It was a prison cake. I make that Oreo cake. Oreos are vegan, and I have vegan grandbabies, and I make them a prison cake often on holidays, because then they're like, I don't think I can have that, Momo. Does it have eggs or milk in it? I said, no, honey, it's vegan. Go for it.
even that cream is vegan, huh?
Yeah. Oreos. Now, not all cream cookies. Some brands are different, but Oreo brand for sure, 100% vegan.
Okay.
It is, yeah. And guess what? Just a side note too, since we're on vegan, and I won't go down a rabbit hole. Sweet chili Doritos are vegan. My friend, I don't know what else to call her or label her. She was deeply vegan, and she goes, those were the Doritos that she could eat. I don't know how she knew that. I don't know if that's even true, but I'm going to share that. I'm going to share it.
Disclaimer right here on the
Thank
Recyard
you.
Women's
I
Prison
just spread
Podcast.
misinformation.
April, what was your favorite thing about Thanksgiving time in prison?
You know, I thought everyone was in a good mood. It was one of the holidays that wasn't, I found Mother's Day to be really sad, and Christmas was sad, and Thanksgiving and New Year's, I think people wanted to party. So I loved that we would usually do a little. For much of my time, I was in a faith-based program dorm, and we would do a little prayer circle and hold hands and pray. And I thought that was a nice way to show gratitude. And even under the circumstances, did y'all ever feel like if you like you were in a movie or something, like I can't believe I'm here, I can't believe this is real right now? And sometimes those moments where people would be expressing gratitude even though we were in pretty miserable conditions a lot of the time, and people were suffering, and they were away from their families, to see that hope, I think, was really encouraging. And the food was, we got cake.
Yeah.
Can't beat that.
Grateful for the cake, for sure.
Yeah. And the deviled eggs.
I think that was so beautifully said, and it really captures how you can still find joy even in rough circumstances, and your environment doesn't always have to reflect your mood doesn't always have to reflect your environment. We were able to grasp onto each other and offer that hope.
Well, April, what are you grateful for now?
I try to, this is one thing that Lioness has really instilled in me. I try to stay connected to the women who remain incarcerated. And that reminds me of those little things like Free World Creamer is pretty great. Liquid creamer is fabulous. And we take for granted these things like being able to drive a vehicle. Being able to go outside whenever we feel like it, and being stuck in traffic, I can complain about that, but those little things I sure am grateful for. And the girls who are still there remind me of those things. Like, don't you complain that you have to drive all the way to East Texas for Thanksgiving. You get to drive all the way to East Texas for Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
I think that's a great point. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I think staying connected with our family on the inside for sure keeps us grounded out here. I remember being inside praying, like, please don't let me forget how bad this is, because I don't ever want to feel ungrateful or unsatisfied outside of this. Like, this is the bottom, and please don't let me forget this feeling. So thanks for reminding us of that, and we hope you enjoy your day tomorrow. And we love you immensely. So thank you for hopping on, and we will see you very soon, April. I'll see you Saturday, actually.
I will see you Saturday. All
now
right.
is the time to plug the event Saturday in Dallas at 1 p.m. at Well Grounded Coffee Community in Dallas, Texas. We will be there filling out greeting cards, collecting hygienes for incarcerated youth in Texas, and 17 women housed in the Fort Worth Transitional Center getting out of prison. So we're going to be busy. We hope to see you there. And thanks again, April, and thanks for reminding us. Okay. We have Mandy's on standby also, and I'm so excited. My sweet wife, B, was next in line, so let's bring her on. Brittany, I feel like I just saw you.
I think you did.
It's So
like literally.
weird. Yeah.
Brittany, now, what do you think of my hair? I keep asking Marci, did she tell you about my hair? Did you see it? What do you think?
I can't tell.
What do you mean?
Let me see the sides. Let me see the sides.
Honey, she shaved it almost bald. It's
And
already
what
Okay,
is
grown.
well,
this?
I'm about to get my hair cut as soon as my barber gets here. He's on his way. It looks good.
Oh,
I like it. I
thank
like
you.
it.
God.
My hair.
Marci just the first thing after I shaved my head when I told Lori and Marci, I said, tell Brittany that I shaved my head and I had him edge it up and make it real nice. Like that's what I was going for. How your hair always looks clean.
Well, right now it don't. Look at this. It's about to be though. Give me about an hour.
It's fuzzy.
Yeah.
Brittany,
But it looks good. It looks good.
Thanks.
in the nerve of you to want to talk about your hair and then put your ball cap back on.
Yeah. Why are you wearing a hat? You better let that thing show. Let that head show.
Let me tell you what, we were at the Capitol, and she was testifying at the Sunset Committee, and she was sitting there, and I'm watching the video of her. Well, I don't. There she is. She turned her camera off. She's trying to get comfortable, and her little old bald head was just shining, honey. It was just shining.
Because see, Brittany, it's got all this like silver in it now, and thank God that my gray hair is like kind of.
I have gray hair too. It looks good. Don't let nobody say nothing different. You know what? So what is shiny? She was nervous. She was sweating because she had to go up there and talk to the people about the inhumane conditions and what needs to be fixed in this fucking broken ass system that's not even really broken.
I want you to know that meme where the person is elevated into the sky when it says me when I'm right or me when someone agrees with me. I want you to know that Brittany is elevating my soul, Marci, because you be ripping into my ass all the time. Sometimes I feel like
Monsoon.
Oh, and you know what I tell her too when we're traveling and stuff? I'm like, God bless Brittany. God bless Brittany. She's made of steel. She's made of steel.
I have a 4-hour drive tomorrow, 8 hours technically all day.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have cranked this. Anyway, so tell me about Thanksgiving at Lane Murray.
Brittany and I spent a couple Thanksgivings together.
Well, listen, let me tell you the one that really sticks out to me is when Marci almost had this couple getting a fist fight in the day room, asking me for my lemon bars, right?
Brittany always coming hot with the juicy stories.
Well, I have a lot, y'all. She be toning it down for y'all, but y'all want to hear something? Y'all hit me up. But no, I was in my cell and we were waiting for day room. You know, we just got our dinner Johnnies and they give us like a little dessert in there other than our dessert tray. And it's like lemon bars and something else. I don't even know what I got yet. And I get a message from the stud broad named Baby D. They said, hey, he said, Marci said, your baby Marci said she wants your lemon bars. Well, Baby D's girlfriend thought they said that Marci's Baby D, to give the lemon bars to her or something like that. No, it was horrible. I didn't even know I was like, lemon bars, what's she talking about? Right? Because I'm 2 row and Marci's already on 1 row down there on the other pods. I was like, I don't understand. And then, the whole fight happened. And Marci just over there not knowing what the hell's going on. She's just waiting on her damn lemon bar.
Cranking shit up.
And this stuff talking about they were cussing me out. And I was like, man, I don't know what the fuck's going on. I don't know what's going on.
I was just living my best life knowing I was going to have double lemon bars. Because that was the test. In relationships, that was the test when there was something like a real treat.
Like apples and oranges?
And if you said, honey, can I have your apple? Honey,
hell no.
Can I have your lemon bar?
Nope.
I got that lemon bar though.
She did get it. And I sent you some other apple and orange too.
Yeah, you sent me quite a bit. I feel like you even bought somebody else's lemon bar.
I did.
Yeah. Well, and Brittany, I will tell you, you do put me to shame. You do put me to shame because Lindsay, again, poor Lindsay, if she's ever watching this episode. So the only fight I remember on the holidays was me and her, and we were in the chow hall.
Because you wouldn't steal her nothing, take it back to the dorm for her. That's why.
Number one. And number two, even at the table. So we're sitting at the table. Okay. And we'd finally met up to at least eat together, but she's mad, passive aggressive. I'm mad, and she's getting on my nerves. And so her friend Bonita comes in the door and says, I think it was Christmas though. She was like, "Merry Christmas, friend. I love you. Did you get the gift I sent you?" We were eating. She goes, "Yes, girl, I did. It was the only motherfucking gift I got." And I said, "Oh, you mad?" And so then we're arguing at the table. I fucking threw all my food onto her tray, and then we just argued and yelled at each other all the way back to the dorm. And so that was the fight that I started, because I didn't give her.
I will tell you this. Me and Marcy got together in November before Thanksgiving or whatever, but every holiday, I'm talking about, we would shower each other with like a whole bunch of made cards or socks full of stuff. I mean, she sent me commissary bags, literally like $50 in fucking commissary.
I was running a chain bag of commissary. I would catch somebody on the street. I had gotten a hold of the tickets, the actual property tickets that go on the outside of the bag, like it came from a property room. And the people would go in the dorm and tell their boss, "I picked up my property." The property boss stopped me. I got my property. And it looked legit. It was in a chain bag. It was marked properly. And
they go to my window and drop it down.
I'd
be sleeping in the middle of my nap, getting woken up, cussing these people out. And they're like, "Man, we got your baby sent you this." I said, "Send me what, man? Hold it." They said, "Nah, it's like a whole bag full of shit." I'm like, "What?" Yeah.
And sometimes she'd get it all. Sometimes she'd get part of it.
Sometimes they act like the laws get it, and then I have to go beat them up.
Right. Right.
Because I know they lying now.
Yeah.
I got ice cream from Peaches one time.
Oh yeah, we've been through that story and we know where she hid it.
Yeah, and her titties, and then Peaches like, "I know you're gonna give me some of that."
Brittany does not hold back. This is why I have to be careful when she's on my videos, y'all, because she will chime in right before the video goes off with something real raw. I said, "Honey, we don't talk like that on my account."
Well, I don't care. They need to know the truth. You be acting like it's a camp cupcake or something. Like everything's all gravy. I mean, it wasn't all bad. I mean, we did have good times in there, and we had community and family, and especially during the holidays, y'all, because in the holidays, we were all in our feelings. We all missed home. We all like something about it, but we would all get together, and it don't matter if you beefing, if you're not. I mean, we all get along, and we just spread love. We're there for each other. We had our own little Thanksgivings, our own Christmases, birthdays, holidays. That's when everybody got together, especially those women in there. I just want to say that.
Chanel said, "Britt, stop telling my biz."
But you did want some, and I gave you some.
Wait, well, here's the deal. Now, Peach is saying, "Don't tell my business," and she just got up here and busted out Becky's.
Oh yeah, you just telling everybody business. Messy.
Oh, well, it happens. It happens.
Well, hey, you know what? I ain't gonna ever forget that. Peaches got her case thrown out, and she actually was doing what she got a case for and got a drop. But I didn't even threaten the lady, and I got my case and went through. I'm a little sour from that. I'm just saying, just letting you know.
It works out like that sometimes because the laws, you never know what's going to happen.
It don't matter. The laws get away with everything. They lie on me all the time. I was still, just so you know, Toonche, I'd still sneak stuff back from the chow hall, knowing I'm gonna be the one stripped to Pat, knowing it. I ain't scared.
Sure. Well, honey, I just couldn't get away. I'm too nervous.
You scary.
I made a cup of coffee one time.
I don't know how
to hide it in the library. And was nervous the whole time because it was behind a thing of books. And my friend Sincere said, "Bitch, you're going to get us busted." And so, no, I am not. All of my crimes are moments of heated passion. And the second crime was I was intoxicated. And so, like, I don't do that. I don't keep it cool like that. So don't ever.
Me and Marcy switched the whole shirt in the library for her to wash it. I wanted her to wash my t-shirt. We took off our shirts. Yeah. In the library.
Just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's okay.
So, Brittany.
Yes.
Love you so much, my love, my darling. This is a feel-good episode of
I
gratitude.
hate being on camera.
And we want to know what you're grateful for right now. And remember that you're just in the next room.
What I'm thankful for now, I mean, my family and my friends, like my friends I consider family. I mean, y'all are my family, Toon and Lori and everybody. So that's what I'm grateful for, just to have the support I have in my recovery.
Mm-hmm.
Brittany hit a big milestone recently in her recovery, and so we could shout that out. She hit the 10-year mark.
Wow, that's a big accomplishment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's massive. It's massive.
Yeah,
So
pretty big.
impressive.
It don't seem like that long, but it's been that long. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm over here helping everybody else too. Y'all need peer support for some recovery? Y'all hit me up. Y'all hit me up.
Oh.
Baby, thank you for hopping on. Love you so very much, and I will see you very soon.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye, darling. Donise Cherry is in the chat, and Donise, I dropped that in the group chat. I dropped the link. We would love for you to hop on and share your favorite Thanksgiving memories from prison. But right now, we have Mandy J in the waiting room, and she's got her camera turned. Oh, there she is, pretty girl. She's ready for us. Let's welcome Mandy to the rec yard. Hi.
Hey guys, I'm sorry I was just off because y'all were, entertaining others, so I was entertaining.
we understand. Yeah.
Hi to everyone who was already on, and happy Thanksgiving to everyone who's in the chat. This is beautiful. I love it. I will tell y'all that my daughter was out here, and I was like, "Come on with me. I want them to see. I'm so grateful you're here." And she's like, "No, that's."
She's like, don't want to do that.
I go to you too because of you with the storybook. I'm not ready. And I was like,
"Oh,
it's just Toon. You've met Toon," and she's like, "Yeah, but." It's like, "Well, you haven't met Marci. I want you to meet Marci." And she's like, "I'll meet her in person maybe one day."
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully one day she'll be ready to meet everybody and meet the community here. That would be really cool to hear from her too.
Her and my son, they're my heartbeat, like they're my hearts, and it would tell y'all a lot more just about why I do what I do and how I got through what I did.
Mm-hmm. Well, tell us some of your favorite Thanksgiving holiday moments, if there were any. I mean, Brittany just told us about a fight that Marci started. We never heard that story before, but what's something that sticks out for you?
I'm going to tell y'all like two perspectives. When I was inside, I really loved something I appreciated about the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas, is we fucking showed out. We had our press sets, we had our makeup on, we had our hair done, and we showed out, even if it was just to go get that tray and come back. But it was something to dress up for, and everyone complimented each other. Everyone was happy to see each other. And I don't remember there being a lot of fights because we all wanted our tray.
Right.
And I also remember like when I was on the crane unit right before I came home, like I was first shift kitchen, and they're the ones that actually cook the meal, like the turkeys and stuff like that. And I remember you might have been scary, but I wasn't. I was blessed. My dorm was blessed, and the food we made and the community we had in the dorm when we had those big meals. That's what I remember. Is you kind of see who's down, who's gonna bring what. You like make a little plan, and as a family, almost like as a community, you come together and you're like, okay, look, I need you to get this, you to get this, and we're gonna make this at the end of the day. And so I remember that, and I just remember everyone always just being real. We would always think about our families, and we would always kind of reminisce a little bit, and then just remember to be grateful for the small things. And that's actually something that I took when I came home. And from a different perspective is when I came home, like my first Thanksgiving, I was actually really disappointed because you realize that the people on the outside are not as grateful. for like the small things. Like they're not as grateful when they get that turkey. They're not as grateful when they get to spend time with people that they love. Like they're not as grateful. And it was a real reality check for me. Cause like when we got to, especially if they had rec on Thanksgiving Day, which was normal because they would always be short staffed. But if rec on Thanksgiving Day and you got to go see your homegirl or your best friend or your, person that was in another dorm, that was like a highlight of that day because, holidays were always skeleton crew. And so we were so grateful to be able to see each other. And when I came home, I realized that like not even my aunts and uncles, they didn't even get together like they used to. Like cousins weren't there. Like it was really weird. And I had to realize that like they just don't have that same grateful capacity because they're so entitled out here.
Yeah. I mean, I love that you brought that up because I think being gone for so long and I was with my family, my bonds were different. And so that kind of felt different. But I always remembered feeling lonely for prison. Like I was like, there's something wrong with me that I'm aching and missing prison and the day room and the record. And you're right. Like I was thinking while you were talking, like one of my favorite moments, even though me and Lindsay used to fight a lot, but that night, especially if they had rec that night, like you could just sit outside and it was cold, but it wasn't too cold yet. And you would just sit there and it was just different. It was just different. So,
and usually the guards weren't patting as hard because they knew we were all carrying something. If it was a holiday, you're carrying something like, and luckily, unless they really just wanted to get you, then they let you make it. I was grateful for that.
Depending on the law.
Oh, always.
Oh yeah.
Always. That's like always.
Because Miss Scott was for sure pulling you doing something.
What was it? Klaus or Crow? Miss Crow.
Miss Crow.
Yeah, if it was Miss Crow, yeah, when you play.
Remember at shift change on the holidays, how you'd just be, I mean, at shift change, always you're waiting to see what law you get. And you kind of gauge how your day is going to be. But on those holidays, that was everything.
I remember in Lane Murray is like, it wasn't even just the shift, it was the card. If you were on a black card during the holidays, it was like, oh shit, we gotta, hopefully we get, you know what I mean? And if it was white card, it was like, okay, we relatively can relax a little bit. But black card, when I was there, was like, fuck that shit. You'll adapt to those 4 days.
Which is so wild because in cell block, it was opposite.
Oh no, ours was
in Gen Pop, it was a different card that was good. And then I get to cell block and I'm like, this is I was like scared of so
it was wild.
But yeah, if we wanted to play games or like charades or any kind of multi-person thing in the day room where somebody might be standing up for a time, or like you really had, all of that was dependent on who the law was. And it was wild how we would just, if it was bad law, we just completely shifted.
To next shift. Like, okay, well, we're not going to do anything right now. We'll wait till the next shift to do it.
No, and like I don't remember it being so defined in other units as it was in Lane Murray, because Lane Murray, it literally was white card and black card. And I don't remember it being that defined in other units because those laws, they weren't as consistent, I guess. And so, but I remember like you literally knew how the flow went, who showed up, how to act, how to react. And at like Mountain View, it was like just a certain laws that were consistent and the other ones were cross action. Sometimes they're real cool and sometimes they'll just fuck you over for no reason. Like, and they were unpredictable. And that was harder because I respected the ones that were consistent. You know what I mean?
Then because you needed to know what you were getting into. When you had some that let you get away with stuff and then all of a sudden you're doing the same stuff that they've been letting you do, and then they've had a bad day or whatever.
And then they just suddenly turn on you. I always, from the time I was a kid, I would label those in my mind, I called them Dobermans. Like, oh, she's a Doberman. Like, I just never knew, like, yeah, she's nice, but then like, I can't predict a pattern with her. And she just suddenly,
I call them,
right, you know,
yeah, I was like, them
yeah,
are
sometime, yeah.
Yeah. And that's how Mountain View was. Like Mountain View as a whole, like a lot of their officers are sometimesy. Depending on who you were and how you were and if they felt good that day.
I remember it was New Year's, you know, and New Year's was still a decent meal, right? You went to go get your black eyed peas and your ham or whatever, right? And we had Miss Soto, and me and Alexa just went. We went to lunch, we ate and came back, and we just laid in bed. Like because we couldn't sit in the day room because Miss Soto, it was terrible, right? So if you have a bad law, it'll.
Miss Soto's, she's consistent. She's consistent. So you know what you can get away with. And if you like respect her and talk to her, she's someone you could talk to. But especially after she retired and came back. Like, I don't know if you dealt with her. She retired and came back. But when she retired and came back, she was a little bit more where you could talk to her and see what's up.
But you couldn't leave the dorm hardly because she was going in your house. She was going in. She was lifting your mattress. If you had a slip of paper under there, or if you had your set trying to get it pressed, baby, she was hunting.
You remember Victoria? You couldn't do shit if she was doing like she was a safe pee person, but she was just like sometimes she'd have to like stand in to give the guard a break. If she was there at all, don't leave yourself.
Don't leave yourself.
Yeah.
Wait, I would try that. Okay, so Miss Crow, she was the notorious, Miss Crow. So it's like, okay, well, like if there was one guard that at least kind of knew some of the tricks, it was Miss Crow, because it was like, okay, well, I'll just stay in my cubicle. So I remember she would tell people, okay, step out, and she would pat them. Like she was the only officer I ever remembered that like searched you when she said, come out of your cubicle.
No, 100%. No, Miss Crow was the real law.
Was on it, and it was Christmas time. And do you remember the Muslim girls had their feast in the gym or whatever, and they were selling the leftover food stuff. And so of course Serena, I want this and this and this, and now Serena has a spot in my heart because y'all just heard me how I just didn't do anything
for Lindsay, for Serena.
For Serena,
yeah, like we're watching this episode,
right? Sorry, Lindsay. So I just went all out and bought this whole big bag of all this chocolate because it was free world stuff. And so I put it in a bag, and I'm like, oh my God, we have Miss Crow. Here's the deal. You got to put it on your person. You can't leave it in your box, right? So I put it on my person, and I'm laying down reading a book, and here she, Toon. And I said, oh my God. And so I got up, and I could feel it slipping because, I wore them real big panties because like boxers, and that bag of free world candy and food was slipping down them drawers right down my leg. And I'm like, oh my God, she's going to pat me. But thank God the Lord covered me. She didn't pat me. And I'm like, Miss Crow's fixing to bust this bag of free world food on me.
Because it was you, Toon, you little fucking goody shooties. Wearing a pad. And like you're on your period, and she's gonna pull your pad down or pull it out.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, Miss Crow was
going to search you. I got a major case behind that because I had a mascara hidden underneath mine because I thought that was gonna protect me from this. Not.
God,
she was something else. Yeah.
So,
happy Thanksgiving, Miss Crow. And I'm glad that we can laugh at your
wishbone. No, I'm just kidding.
Your reign of terror. But I do have Miss Crow, if you're watching, there was one moment that it did speak to me, that we were in that dog pound van outside of Lane Murray waiting to go to college, and it was 120 degrees outside. We were going to faint. Lindsay said, I'm fixing to throw up. Because, the puppy van, there's no windows on the side, and it's just the back window.
Yeah, and y'all stepped out of the air conditioning into that sauna, so your bodies were not used to it.
You're right. Poor babies, right?
Well,
for you.
Well, and we were sitting, because there was something going on at the back gate, and we were sitting in that van for a long, and we were like, and we didn't even dare say anything because it was some officer we knew, some guy that was driving. It was Miss Crow. And so we just assumed, she don't give up, she's cruel and mean. She got out, and that guy said, "Hey, you're not supposed to get out." And she goes, we can't leave them in the heat like this." And so she got her gun and opened the back door and opened the like, and just stood there with the gun. And we like, we could finally breathe, even though it was still hot. And I was just really, it's like, you never know. Like, you know,
I really don't think she's a bad person, but she
is police.
Where they're like, here's the policy. I'm gonna go this way because I have a feeling. And like,
Right.
She's extra.
Oh boy, yeah.
I think that's kind of how when I say like there's a bad law, is it's not technically that they're bad. It's more or less they make it harder on purpose. Like, here's the actual policy where we might be treading the line. They're going to go with their intuition and just make it harder on purpose to try to get you caught up, and
enjoy it.
A major, and then throw it in your face.
Yeah. And then sit in the day room with a stack of cases.
Yeah.
Writing them out, looking up every now and then saying,
Yeah, that's the truth. Like, I guess they're not bad people. What it is they're just real vindictive, and they're the type of people that I guess it's almost like bullies, I guess. Like, they're just the bullies.
Yeah.
They're the bullies, and they know that we don't have the power, we don't have the strength, and we don't have the authority to, like, we're just trying to survive.
Yeah. It reminds me of, I was listening to a podcast, a Stoic, it's called Stoic Philosopher. So anyway, and he was saying, it's not power that corrupts, power reveals. So whatever's already there, power is going to reveal it. It's not the power itself that corrupts. And I'm like, damn, that's it right there.
And I really think that that's the difference between those that are in authority and those who are in oppression. Like, those who are like actually trying to just be a good example and guide in authority, and those who are trying to like punish and condemn in oppression. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they would make or break a holiday in the dorm, but they would not in the dorm, but not the whole day, because once they were gone, we would be able to. Well, maybe tell us what you're thankful for now.
Well, for now, I am, honey, I'm grateful and I'm thankful for my kids. I'm thankful that I have to drive like 2.5 hours, so like 5 hours a day to go get my kids, to get my daughter. Now my son lives with me, and I'm grateful that I, one, have the ability to drive now, because my stipulation in parole was that I could not drive, and that for two, I can drive to go see her play basketball. I can drive to go see her, do her any awards she has, and drive to see her to go visit her. And I have her for this year for Thanksgiving, and I've had her all week, so I've got to enjoy her this whole week. So I'm super grateful for that. And I'm grateful for, I'm personally grateful for a lot of things. Like, I love y'all. I'm so grateful for the community that we've built, the friendships that I have. I'd be so crazy without y'all, crazier. And I'm grateful when I go and see Audrey, my friend that's at Mountain View, Audrey Ing. I'm so grateful for that experience, because it keeps me grounded, and it reminds me what I'm out here fighting for. And it reminds me to never take anything for granted and to not feel too entitled, because I never want to be that person that, we went through something and it's a part of me. It's not something that I just experienced and I can leave it behind. It touched me, and the people there touched me. And so I'm grateful for that experience.
It was really lovely. And I'm very grateful for you and our community. Everything that everybody said tonight, I'm like, yes, like, I don't ever want to forget where I came from and where I was at. Come
here. Like, this is mine. You went to go
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. She went to take a shower when I started, when I told her I was getting on, and she just got out.
She says, if I stay in here long enough.
Gosh, the older, she's always so much resembled you, but especially the older she gets, it's like there's double vision.
But yeah, I'm grateful.
Thanks so much for joining us on the Rec Yard, Mandy. We appreciate you so very much. And I
You.
probably won't see you until December 6th because there's a greeting card party in Austin on December 6th. Make sure you're following Jen and my socials, Linus socials to stay in tuned with that. Saturday in Dallas, November 30th, Friday night in Austin, December 6th. Same mission, greeting cards, collecting hygienes for incarcerated youth. All the details are on the Linus socials. And if you are not following Linus on social media and you want to support incarcerated and formerly incarcerated women, that's the first step, is following us. So make sure that you are following us. Mandy, thanks again.
Y'all remember to FaceTime me tomorrow. I'm gonna have serious FOMO. Love y'all.
Okay, love you too.
Absolutely, we will. Love you much. Toonche, we're already 5 minutes.
I know, already 5 minutes, and the cat is staring at me. She's like, it's snuggle time, and you're still on that computer thing like I've been all day. So
doesn't Taylor know it's podcast night?
She does not care. She rules my life with an iron fist, like every woman in my life. So she's waiting for me to get off this podcast so we can eat a little pie and watch TV.
Our first grader, he says on Wednesdays, it's podcast night. Does that mean Brittany's taking us to the park?
I love that.
Now the time has changed. So can you in a minute and a half, do you have a favorite Thanksgiving story? I already can tell it's not going to be in a minute and a half.
I think tomorrow is going to be one of my favorite Thanksgiving stories in the future, for sure. All of us, or most of us, some of us, like Mandy's got other places that she has to be with her family and stuff. But some of us will be together for our chosen family Thanksgiving. I don't even want to call it's a Friendsgiving, but I really don't even want to call it that because y'all are family to me. And I'm really looking forward to it. Lori, I was eating my own pie that I bought for myself. Okay? So don't try to front me out in front of all these people. That's my wife, y'all. Lori Mellinger here, talking shit.
Because you are supposed to be bringing pie tomorrow, so it's interesting that you're eating pie tonight.
Well, I made sure because I knew if I didn't buy one for me, I was going to dip into the ones I bought for y'all. So
I will finish with just this, how on Thanksgiving when we went to the chow hall and we were dressed up in our best uniform, pressed up, makeup, our hair was special. We had rubbed that perfume sample all over our uniform, and we would line up. You would try to strategically line up to get your immediate prison family in the same table in the chow hall. Because when you get in the chow hall, you just sit in a line. How you come in. You don't get to choose where you sit. So we would be lined up. And as we were entering the chow hall, there was a picket there, which was a glass fishbowl looking container that officers sit in. And it was reflective on the outside. And we would do selfies. We would pretend like someone was taking our picture, and we would be like, and we would pose in front of the reflection. And I just remember like that was just a fun little thing that we really only did on holidays, on really Thanksgiving and Christmas. Yeah. So thank you all for spending the Thanksgiving Eve with us. Hopefully this night of gratitude, if you've done time, hopefully you have not forgotten how rough some of those days are inside, and you haven't taken for granted that you can open your front door whenever you want and take a breath of fresh air, and just that you're finding gratitude in the little things. And if you have not done time, look around because there's folks right now living in concrete boxes that can't walk barefoot on the grass, and they're just restricted in ways that you cannot even imagine, even to the point where they're frankly forced to drink contaminated water. Like it's that serious, right? So we have so much to be grateful for out here, and we want to encourage you to follow us on YouTube and also follow our Facebook page. That's where you're going to find all kinds of great blooper pictures of my co-host Toonche. They are the most fun. Thank you all for sharing the live. It's the truth. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for joining us. We will be back here next Wednesday night, same time, same place on the Recyard Women's Prison Podcast. Good job, Jen. I just was waiting.
You're waiting for it. I wanted to do this for Lori. And I won't.
Good job. Out with us on the Recyard Women's